What's going on, everybody? The world is a better place because you are here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. Excuse me, it is Thursday, September 12th, 2024. We're finally at the end of the week, and I hope it was a good week for you all. And you know what that means? It's Thursday, so we are releasing our picks for both the college football week 3 and picks for week 2 of the NFL season. So, as we did last week and did what better in college football 2-1 in college football and then the NFL. I will admit we had a reverse sweep, but we are bouncing back, and I promise that. And we got 6 picks, 3 college football, 3 NFL, and they're going to be big winners here. Let us go aim for a solid above 500 week. And most importantly, let's go for the sweep this week. Let's try to go 6 for 6, and we're going for it. And just a couple reminders. Number one, if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. And remember to gamble responsibly. Number two, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcast platforms and YouTube. And number three, thank you to Magic Mind, our presenting sponsor. And get your shot of Magic Mind. Get 48% off your first subscription of Magic Mind by going to magicmind.com/PCMB, or go to the description below and you can get 48% off your first subscription or 20% off your first one-time purchase by going to magicmind.com/PCMB and use discount code PCMB20. We have more information in the description below if you want to check that out as well. But again, magicmind.com/PCMB and use discount code PCMB20 for 48% off your first subscription or 20% off your first one-time purchase. And thank you to Magic Mind for always having our back. So, as promised, every Thursday we are releasing our picks of the week. 3 picks for college football, 3 picks for the NFL. So let's begin it. Week 3 of the college football season. Uh, a nice week ahead. Not too much going on, just another week of college football, and see which teams are on their way to becoming one of the first 12 teams to make the new college football playoff. And we also had some news about the Pac-12 looking to rebuild once and for all. I'll have a little more information on that on Monday, but it looks like they are going to try to get some teams from the Mountain West, 4 teams: Boise State, San Diego State, Colorado State, Boise State, Colorado, San Diego. What's the last one? One moment. From the Mountain West, Pac-12, the new Pac-12 teams. What are we missing? There's one moment. And Fresno State. We had Fresno State being able to cover against Michigan earlier this year. Boise State almost defeated and upset Oregon. And so last week, so a lot to look forward to there for the Pac-12 trying to make the comeback. But we'll talk a little bit more about that on Monday. But let us focus on week 3 of the college football season and my 3 picks I have for you. So we're going with a couple of upsets this week. My first upset is Memphis plus 6.5 over Florida State University. Memphis is very underrated on both sides of the ball, very explosive offense, and a pretty solid defense as well. And we are very aware of Florida State's struggles early this season. 0-2 to start the year. DJI does not look like he's having a good start to his season, does not look very good. So can Memphis go down to Florida State and give them a heck of a game? I think so. And plus 6.5, I think they could easily keep this close. Maybe Florida State only wins by a field goal, but I think with Memphis's momentum and Memphis's very solid offense, and Florida State, who has a hard time stopping the run, who has a hard time stopping the pass, and Florida State team who has a hard time scoring points, this is a good opportunity for Memphis to cover, even if they only lose by a field goal. At Florida State, this is truly a must-win for them, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is a much closer game. So give me Memphis taking the 6.5 points there. So Memphis 6.5, thanks to their solid offense and Florida State struggles on defense, especially. And Florida State being all over the place offensively, Memphis can take advantage of that. We got Missouri and Boston College, right? That'll be my second game. A solid SEC and ACC matchup right here. We got 24 ranked Boston College and number 6 ranked Arizona, where the spread right now is minus 16 for Missouri. Let me tell you something. I will give Boston College the benefit of the doubt, and they can cover the 16-point spread. Boston College has a solid pass rush as with Memphis, but even better. With a solid 2-0 start, who have already spoiled Florida State season, I think that they can spoil Missouri season as well. A solid quarterback in Castellanos for Boston College, who is able to get the ball in the end zone, get the ball with has a solid arm as well. I think he will produce trouble for Missouri, even though Boston College is going on the road in a hostile environment known as where Missouri is. 16 points. I think they could easily pull that off. Easily. I'm very confident in this. Sure, it might go wrong and Missouri might just go for a run, but a lot of people are liking what Boston College can do with Bill O'Brien, and this team has clearly shown that they can score early on in the season. I think that they could do it against a very good Missouri team, ranked 6th in the nation. Boston College plus 16. Give me those points for Boston College. There we go. Plus 16 for Boston College. And then to wrap it up with the college football picks, give me minus 16, another minus 16 matchup. We have Oregon and Oregon State. Big rivalry here. But instead of it being a Pac-12 rivalry, it is now going to be it's not a Pac-12 rivalry. It is Oregon State is in the Big 12, not Big 12, the Pac-12, one of the two Pac-12 teams. We have Oregon State. Instead of it being a Pac-12 rivalry game, it is just going to be a regular in-state rivalry game. The Pac-12 versus the Big 10 in Oregon and Oregon State. After Oregon gets almost, I want to say embarrassed, but they almost blow it against Boise State last week. They need to come out strong against an in-state rival. I think the defense is going to play much better than they did against Boise State. And I think Oregon's explosive offense that people expect them to have, I think they could easily provide that next week in a big state rivalry matchup. So give me Oregon minus 16 to easily cover. And I think they could pull off a 3-touchdown victory over Oregon State and put people at ease who think that a possible national championship favorite, and definitely one on the show, can get back into strides and continue an undefeated season and also gain a couple rise up in the rankings once again as well. This is a great opportunity for them to put up major points against Oregon State and make people realize that everything is going to be all right. So Oregon, give me the Ducks minus 16 over the Beavers in Oregon State. All right, so one more time. Plus 6.5 for Memphis, plus 16 for Boston College, and then minus 16 for Oregon. That is your college football picks on Productive Conversations. Plus 6.5 for Memphis, plus 16 for Boston College, and minus 16 for Oregon. Good stuff, am I right? Let's do it again. All right, here we go. Let's go with our NFL picks now. Week 2 is in the books. They say the hardest weeks to pick in the NFL is week 1 and week 18. But now we're in week 2. Even though we're still trying to figure out these teams and a lot of these starters take the preseason off, as we know. So now that we're somewhat back in a groove while still trying to figure out who is what and where they are in the NFL. Usually week by week 4, we have a good idea of where these teams are going. But we are in week 2. So let us figure out where things are going to go. Everybody is playing this week. And yeah, let's make our week 2 picks. Number 1, we have the Jets and the Titans. The Jets are opening at -4. Give me the points for the Jets. Obviously, people were very disappointed in the Jets and how they played against the San Francisco 49ers on Monday night, especially defensively. And, Aaron Rodgers getting the rust out and playing pretty solid in his first game in about 2 years. Then we have the Tennessee Titans, who blew a 17-point lead against the Chicago Bears, not giving and blowing this lead by not giving up one single offensive touchdown. And pretty much the special teams and defense took care of business for the Bears against the Titans. What can they do against the Jets team, who, even though they had a hard time scoring points against the 49ers and reckon the 49ers are one of the best teams in football, and especially one of the best defenses, you are now playing against a much inferior team, reckon you are going into their home turf. I believe the Jets at -4 are able to pull off this victory. Will be able to pull off this victory. You'll finally get some strides for Aaron Rodgers. I think you will get more than one touchdown from Aaron Rodgers. Garrett Wilson was getting the touches he needed against the 49ers. He was the only good thing about the offense. Breece Hall played only okay, 53 rushing yards. Now you're playing against a rebuilding Titans team. And also, Will Levis is going up against the solid defense on paper. Now that they are playing a much worse team than 49ers, I think they will be able to easily give them a run for their money. I think they can win by more than a touchdown, maybe even just 6 points and a couple field goals with Greg Zuerlein scoring them in. But give me the Jets -4 over Tennessee, easily thanks to them being able finally. This great Jets defense should start clicking against a Tennessee Titans team that's still in a rebuilding phase, against a quarterback that has shown, at least in week 1, that maybe he could be trigger happy, if you will, maybe a little reckless, if you will. And if they could throw, if the Bears defense, which is pretty solid, can help score on the Tennessee Titans, I think the Jets, with a stellar secondary, can do the same and have a pass rush that can give pressure to Will Levis to make those dumb decisions. So Jets -4. The Chargers and the Panthers. Chargers opening at -6. Very surprised on this one. Very surprised. The Chargers were able to get a great victory over Las Vegas at home last week. They are now going up against a Panthers team who looked pretty bad against the New Orleans Saints. And while the Chargers, I still think, while the Chargers seem to have a young team trying to figure themselves out with the Jim Harbaugh, I think the -6 points, I think they could easily cover that spread, win over a touchdown. Bryce Young looked so lost against the Saints, continuing the same problems as he did a season ago. The Chargers seem pretty in sync, especially against the running, especially with their running back by committee, and maybe a rejuvenized J.K. Dobbins. If he was able to score off a really good defensive line in the Las Vegas Raiders, led by Max Crosby, why can't they do the same against the Panthers, who lost their best pass rusher in Brian Burns going to the Giants, as they are a young team trying to figure themselves out? I think that the Chargers can easily pull off this victory against the Carolina Panthers. This in part to the Chargers offense looking actually pretty solid, and the defense looking good towards the end of the game against the Vegas Raiders. For a Panthers team who could be the worst team in the league, I believe that the Chargers can easily pull off this victory and easily pull off the 6-point spread. So give me the Chargers with the points, -6. And we'll go with one more favorite this week for the NFL. We got the San Francisco 49ers -5.5 against the Minnesota Vikings. Now, the Vikings, I know, looked like the 85 Bears defense, their defense especially looked like the 85 Bears defense against the New York Giants. Looked ugly as I'm wearing a Giants shirt right now. And Sam Darnold out there looking like he was Tom Brady in his heyday. Now you're going up against, you're arguably going against one of the worst teams in the NFC to arguably one of the best teams. And the bookies are only giving them 5.5 points. Reckon the 49ers are on the road as well. I believe they can easily pull off. I believe that they will demolish this Vikings team, show the Vikings what they actually are, a team that's still rebuilding themselves and a team that isn't that good. Now you're all in this battle of the unbeatens. And the money line is plus 200. So not a lot of faith for the Minnesota Vikings in Vegas. I think the 49ers easily pull off this 5.5 point spread. There's insanely better on defense. They are exceptionally better on offense as well. Plus, seeing, even if Christian McCaffrey will likely be out, we can see Mason having another really good game. And if he was able to, the 49ers were able to put 33 points up against the Jets last week. 32 points against the Jets last week. Why can't they have another stellar game against the Minnesota Vikings as well? So give me minus 5.5 for the 49ers. And your NFL picks are Jets -4, Chargers -6, 49ers -5.5. Let's do that one more time. The Jets -4, Chargers -6, 49ers -5.5. Add that with the college picks: Memphis +6.5, Boston College +16, and Oregon -16. And that will complete Matt's picks for week 2 of the NFL and week 3 for college football. So thank you for everybody who tuned in. Check out tomorrow's tweet cap. That'll be Friday's show. We have another tweet cap, and we're going to talk about Shannon Sharp getting freaky on Instagram Live, John Bon Jovi being a legitimate hero, and Barstool vs. Bernstein. Good stuff there. You want to check that out. Dropping at midnight on Friday. So my name is Matt Brown, and I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. Those are my picks of the week. -6.5 for Memphis, +16 for Boston College. Sorry, +6.5 for Memphis, +16 for Boston College, -16 for Oregon, and for the NFL, Jets -4, Chargers -6, 49ers -5.5. We'll see y'all very soon, and let us enjoy another solid week of football. All right, peace out.